Okay, guys, as promised, we're reviewing for a quiz, which will now be on Thursday because of the rally on Friday. So anyways, here we go. Let's make this very clear. This is a review on SOHCAHTOA. And whenever you have opposite hypotenuse, you got to know its sign. And whenever it's adjacent hypotenuse, you got to know its cosine. Whenever you have opposite adjacent, you got to know you're going to use tangent. Okay? So we're going to do 3 problems nice and efficiently. Here we go. So let's say I gave you a triangle. Now it's a right triangle. Sorry, the right angle didn't show there. But our missing angle is theta. So step 1, remember, you always mark your angle. Step 2, you label your sides. Well, if my angle is down here, then do you agree that 186 is opposite of it? And see how the 43 here is next to it? We call that adjacent. So what uses opposite adjacent? Again, you better know that's TOA, tangent. So tangent of theta is 186 over 43. Now remember, we're trying to find theta. So how do we get rid of this tangent right here? Is we're going to do a tangent inverse, because a tangent inverse cancels out the tangent function. And now I'm left with theta equal to whatever that is right there. And this is where it's very important now. You grab your calculator. And as you can see here, the tangent inverse of 186, remember, type it in as a fraction, like that. 186 over 43 is this right here. Rounding it off, we would say that's 77 degrees. So we just figured out that that angle right there is 77 degrees. Okay, so let's start over with this one. Here's my angle here. Notice this time we know the angle. We're missing a side. Now let's label our sides. Now be careful, guys. See how the right angle's up here? And hopefully you could tell that this right here is the hypotenuse, the longest side. Okay? And again, the 12.2 is very close to that angle. We call that the adjacent side. So, what uses adjacent with hypotenuse? You ought to know its cosine. So we're going to do cosine of 43.3. That's going to equal the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Notice how this is upside down. So remember, guys, we're going to flip it over. And hopefully by now you realize that when this is upside down over here, our missing side x is simply going to be 12.2 divided by 43.3. And now here's where we get our calculator out. And as you can see, I did the cosine of 43.3, 0.72777. I took 12.2 divided by that cosine. And right here, I know my answer, if I round it off, is 16.8. So that missing hypotenuse is 16.8. If you're still not sure how to do a problem like this, please ask me in class, guys, so I can help you. So, one more problem. Here's my angle. Notice 16 is opposite of that angle. It's on the other side. And if you look carefully, here's my right angle. And right up here, we're missing the hypotenuse again. So, What uses opposite hypotenuse? You better know that sine. So the sine of 51 degrees is going to be the opposite over the hypotenuse. See how this is upside down again. Now let me show you all the work involved. If I do the reciprocal here, I get x over 16. If I do the reciprocal here, I would get 1 over the sine of 51. Now, to solve, I would multiply both sides by 16. So, as you can see, x would equal this, and 16 times 1 is 16. So, as you can see, you're going to end up dividing whenever it's backwards or upside down like this. So, we're going to take 16, we're going to divide by sine 51. So, going to our calculator here, we know that the sine of 51 is 0.777. We're going to take 16 divided by that 0.7771. And here's our answer. So rounding that off, we know that x equals 20.6 with a little round off. So we just figured out, again, the hypotenuse is 20.6 in this case. Now, what I hopefully helped you in this video, guys, is I purposely picked two problems where the ratio is upside down, where you had to use a reciprocal and actually do a divide. I did it on this one, and I did it on this one. Normally, of course, you would multiply, right? And hopefully we've done those enough in class, to say the least. And, of course, you better make sure you know sine, cosine, and tangent in accordance with SOHCAHTOA. So, guys, hopefully this will help you. I'll see you in class.